streets every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist Schooner while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen. Hit the sub button, man. Hit that sub button. Join this Fist Schooner army and get Fist Schooner tough. Alright. You know who's Fist Schooner tough real quick? Everybody who survived. You know how they had surviving R. Kelly? Well, shout out to every Giants fan that survived 2021, man. Surviving New York Giants 2021, bro. That should be its own documentary. Somebody need to call Lifetime, Netflix, NBC. Somebody need to make a documentary on Giants fans' misery watching the 2021 product of the New York Giants. We deserve a documentary for our pain and suffering. We really do. And it's like, it's gotten to the point where all summer long, all season long, I buried columnists who called Joe Judge a parody. I buried talking heads who made fun of Joe Judge for making us run laps. I buried Daniel Jones non-believers. I buried everybody who came for the Giants without permission. I did. Fast forward 6 short months later, we in January, and AaronRodgers is clowning the Giants on the McAfee show. I think that's what it was. I don't know. Somebody sent me the Twitter clip. He's making fun of the Giants, and all I could do is just shake my head and nod in agreement. It's come to that. I went from being the number one person to clap at somebody for making fun of my favorite team, my franchise, the New York Football Giants, to being one of the people in the crowd like, yeah, he right. Yeah, we sorry. I mean, yo, AaronRodgers, for those who don't know, basically clowned the Giants for QB sneaking on 3rd and 9. And he's like, yo, Matt LaFleur, I call that shit and see what happens. he says, I dare you to call that, Matt. See what happens if you call that play. He's like, yo, you play to win the game. Like, how you take a QB sneak on 3rd and 9? You play to win the game. And, you know, he's right. AaronRodgers is right, which is why us Giants fans are trying to understand why Joe Judge has not been fired. Joe Judge lost me with the 3rd and 9. He lost me. I was one of the few people that said, bring him back. We can't keep firing coaches after 2 years. I gave Judge every single benefit of the doubt. And y'all know that. I have. Him and Gettleman both, I gave them every benefit of doubt I could. But at some point, it's like, you know what, Gettleman, you got to go. You got to go. Because other teams are winning with backups. Why can't we? And then I look at Joe Judge, who literally got Doug Peterson fired. Remember, they didn't fire Doug Peterson on Black Monday. I don't believe Doug Peterson had got fired on that Monday. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Did Doug Peterson get fired? He got fired after Joe Judge's speech. If I'm not mistaken, it was Joe Judge's speech about effort and sacrifice and not quitting and all the people and all that Joe Judge silver tongue bullshit. Y'all remember what he said about Doug Peterson and tanking, about the sacrifices that everybody from the player to the training, to the equipment manager, to the front office person. Joe Judge had a beautiful rant about Doug Peterson. What happened to that guy, Joe? How did you go from Mr. Integrity and playing to win the game to QB sneaking on 3rd and 9, bruh? How'd we get here? He lost me with that. Because I look around the NFL Giants fans, I see Brett Hundley, backup quarterback, tearing shit up. Davis Mills, the guy in Texas, he's the backup. Tyrod Taylor was supposed to start, or Deshaun Watson, whatever. He was like a 3rd string guy, tearing shit up. But not the Giants. No, not us. We lose Daniel Jones, and we can't compete. It's embarrassing. He quit versus the Bears. He was running out the clock versus the Bears. You know why we had negative 10 pass yards versus the Bears? Because Joe Judge was running out the clock. He kept running the ball because he was trying to get the game over without being embarrassed. And yet he still found a way to lose by double digits. Versus Washington, the same thing. He's just trying to run the clock out, get the game over with. He don't want to. Why did you throw the ball on first? Here's what kills me. He threw the ball on 1st and 10. He threw the ball on 1st and 10, and then QB sneaked it on 3rd and 9. You can't make this up, man. And he still has a job. Giants fans, he still has a job. I may come back later this week and talk about the general manager. No, I am going to do a general manager video later this week. But word on the street is they're going to let the GM decide Joe Judge's fate. I think that's a crock of shit. John Mara's going to decide Joe Judge's fate. I'll talk about that in my general manager video because I want to give my thoughts on the GM searches. The Giants are finally going outside of the building. I want to do a video on that. But for the most part, man, this video is just about the Giants are the laughingstock. We're a meme, man. I mean, AaronRodgers, who I can't stand, by the way. He's one of my favorite players on the field, but off the field, I just think he's an asshole. I couldn't agree more with him, bro. I couldn't agree more with him. Like, we're a joke. And if AaronRodgers is thinking that, you don't think other people are thinking that? You don't think other GMs doing this GM search are thinking that? You don't think there's coaches around the NFL like, how does Brian Flores get fired before Joe Judge? I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. Joe Judge has won 10 games with the Giants, right? Let this sink in. I'm going to end the video on this. I'm going to drop this bomb on you. Brian Flores was 10-6 last year. Brian Flores was 10-6 last year. Joe Judge won 10 games in 2 seasons. One's fired, one's not. That's why the Giants are a laughingstock. That's why we are a clown show at this point. I didn't think we were a clown show, but the last 48 hours have proven otherwise. One guy had a 10-6 record last year and finished the season with 8 straight wins this year and was fired. The other guy ends the season with a QB sneak on 3rd and 9 and won 10 games in 2 years and still has a job. One organization, do I agree with the firing of Brian Flores? Not even a little bit. I think it's a joke. But you know what Stephen Ross is saying? You didn't make the playoffs in 3 years. I expect better. You're fired. You can say what you want about Stephen Ross. I don't think firing Brian Flores was a good move. But he didn't make the playoffs. He won a lot of games. He didn't make the playoffs. He lost a job. The Giants, on the other hand, have a losing head coach and don't want to do shit. We have a losing head coach. Lost 2 straight years and we want to give him more time. One organization, as flawed as the decision may be, want to win. The other organization is just stuck in its own ways. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. That's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.